Now we're going to have a look at what it can look like to do a builder in a bottle overlay backfill when you're using an e-file. This is going to be a example video to show you variety, as this is a very popular service, and we know many of our students that are e-file trained do this, or beginner students, you're potentially interested in it. We're aware that it's a very common and popular service in the industry, so we are aware of it, but this is not how to use an e-file to do this. We cannot stress enough that you need to be e-file trained and you need to be confident at working with an e-file before doing this service. So I'm going to give you pretty much no information on how I'm using my e-file. I am just going to show you out of interest. The main reason you would use an e-file to backfill a BIAB service is to reduce the time it takes to reduce length, reduce bulk, and take colour off. It's a time saver. It's not a substitute, and it's not a must-have tool at all. For a nail of this length, you don't need an e-file. There's no debulking to do, there's no length to reduce. It's purely to show you for variety. As with any service, we are going to start with sanitizing, and I'm sanitizing my hands out. As you can see, go in and cleanse the nail. We're going to assess the nail, as always, to see if there's any lifting. If there was a lot of lifting, that would be an occasion where I would choose to soak off this nail, in which case I wouldn't be needing my e-file and I wouldn't be needing to backfill it. But this nail does need to be backfilled, so I'm going to remove all of the colour and any surface bulk. So I've got this electric file on 17,000 RPMs. It is Penny's e-file, and it's a ceramic safety top carbide bit. That's only relevant to students who are e-file trained. It will make sense to you, and don't worry if it doesn't. This is not my bit or my e-file, so I am going tentatively. It's such a muscle memory thing for me. This is a change in my muscle memory routine, so I am going cautiously, not because I'm not confident, it's because it's a change in my routine. But I did have the e-file on about 12,000 RPMs just to try it out, and usually when in doubt, turn it up with an e-file. I'm speaking to my trained students now, not if you have one and are wanting to try it on yourself. Please let me know if you feel any warmth around. It'll get warm before it gets hot, and nails should never hurt. Has anyone ever worked on you with an e-file before?
I don't think so, no.
Do you have any interest in them?
Maybe in the future.
I've removed all of the top coat and colour gel polish, only leaving not even a millimetre of a line around the entire perimeter. If there was length to reduce, whether if there was any length to reduce, I would have done that now. As per e-file training, that's you learn that technique, how do you reduce length with an e-file, but it is possible to use your e-file to reduce length. And then if you are taking down length, you can often you're going into a thicker part of the nail, in which case you will be needing to reduce surface bulk to rebalance the nail and have all the correct structure again. So if that was applicable, I would have done that, but it wasn't. But again, if you learn that in e-file training, so I'm not worried about omitting that from this video. And then I'm going to take my hand file to neaten up the free edge. And remove the last perimeter amounts of colour gel polish. This is does a few things at once. It removes the colour gel polish, but it's also blending the existing product into the natural nail plate perfectly. And as you saw in the first video, this ultra smooth tapered backfill is what's going to give you that refined, free, perfect backfill foundation. So you can see that I'm turning my client so I can see, pulling back skin and dusting to remove any debris. There's a bit of colour on that tip actually, where I've just capped. And then now I'm checking down the barrel view to make sure it's smooth and perfect, checking the side view. If the nail was longer or you'd reduced a lot of length or changed shape, the whole way you are looking for perfect shape and structure. Is the highest part of the nail where you want it to be? Is the thickness where you want it to be? You do not need the thickness to be at the perimeter of the nail, but you do need some product to be to the perimeter. If there was any lifting as well, I would have removed that either with filing or with nippers if it was thin enough. So now this is what you are aiming for. There's a shortened and shaped nail, a perfectly smooth surface, a completely flush perimeter, no bulk at the side walls, and a perfect taper down into the new nail growth. Beautiful. And then we can move on to natural nail prep. We have prepped Rianne more than once this morning already, so her natural has been very thoroughly prepped. I don't want to over prep it, but for the sake of your learning, you should be more efficient than that on a client who's been gone 2 to 3 weeks, or it's been 2 to 3 weeks since they've had their nails prepped. I'm going to remove any dust, and we're going to And as per the artistic system, we do need to be applying pH prep, which is a dehydrator to the new nail growth only. I'm applying bonding gel to the natural nail growth only, keeping that beautiful, neat, clean perimeter work, scooching up to the cuticle area. I'm taking the corners of my brush down the sides of the nail. You only need to have bonding gel or a base coat if your system uses it on the natural nail growth, unless otherwise advised. It would just be a waste of product to paint it over the entire nail, but I still want to keep a perfectly flush surface for the correction gel I'm about to put on, so I am just going to brush it over briefly just to smooth it. It's now perfectly flush. Yep, happy with that, and then we can cure it following user instructions, which is 5 seconds. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take our builder gel If I'm using the term builder gel and correction gel interchangeably, that's just me not making my mind up about what I'm calling it. Correction gel is builder gel. I'm just using the brand name. You can call it whatever you want. It still is builder gel. So this isn't correction gel specific at all. This is how to do a backfill using builder gel.
In a bottle.
Builder in a bottle. Beautiful. We're doing our matte layer, getting it super neat, super close, briefly capping that free edge. I saw an air bubble, so I just swiped over to move it out, and we're going to go in with a full cure. We're going to go in with a matte layer, a slip layer. We've just done the matte layer. Again, nice neat flush cuticle application, getting right down those side walls, and then we're picking up a small amount of builder gel, letting it run to the tip of my brush so it's a nice little bead. Applying that to the back cuticle area of the nail, pillowing it to the cuticle area, and using that nice parallel angle to wipe it over the nail. This is exactly what I would do if on this length of nail, or if Rianne had inch-long natural nails. It's the same technique. Yeah? Soft apex, substantial amount of product, but it's not thick or bulky, and it's a nice smooth even surface over the surface of the nail. So we're going to pop that into cure, and I will do it on low heat mode. So as per the last video, that's what you're looking for. Beautiful tapered perimeter work, a soft arch over the surface of the nail with an apex appropriate to the natural nail length and your client's strength requirements. And if we can turn and look to the barrel of the nail, you can see that there's product on her nail, but it's by no means a thick nail or a bulky application. It may look thicker if it was a much longer nail. It might end up looking more like an extension, but there's no need for bulk or wide side walls or any lumpiness or thickness at the free edge. It should be a very wearable, like natural nails, but really, really strong and durable. That's what we're looking for.